Hello, everyone. Welcome to the program. This is Your Business Morning, and we meet every weekday at this time, 10 o'clock Nigerian time, here on Channels Television, Nigeria's news leader, 1 hour of your definitive business and markets television programming. Let's get started, and we're looking at the top. Nigeria's Fiscal Responsibility Commission, what they call the FRC, released its 2017 annual report showing most state governments in Nigeria has debts that exceed their annual revenue by the threshold of 50%. We're going to step around this very carefully and slowly. According to the report, of course, reported in some of the dailies today, some states' debt-to-revenue ratio stands at more than 100%. If you know what that means, that is the ratio of your debt vis-a-vis the revenue that you generate. In other words, you have more debt than the income you make, very simply put, more than 100%. And that shows that your weight is not really balanced. At the end of 2016, this is what the report shows in summary. And we're just bringing you some of this. The high level of debt to revenue. These are some of the state governments whose names are on that list, and on many lists, state governments really. But this is not just all of them. We just took a sample of them, in particular those who are heavily weighted in terms of higher debt as a percentage of their revenue. Lagos State, Nigeria's economic king, is running at 670.42%. That is, Lagos State has more debts than the revenue it generates. Osun State comes second at 539.25% high-level debt vis-a-vis revenue. And down south, Cross River State has the position of number 3, 486.49%. Plateau State, 342.01% high-level debt-to-revenue ratio. And Oyo State at number 5, at 339.56%. So those are the 5 top state governments in Nigeria with the highest level of debt to revenue. Now, what the second page you're looking at is just a random number of 5 states, just to make up 10 out of 36, really. So those are the first 5 were the top when it comes to those who are above 100% threshold. But this is just a sample of the rest. Kaduna State is running at 297.26%. Bauchi State has a 250.75% debt to revenue ratio. Kogi State is running 221.92%, while Enugu State is running at 207.91%. And finally on that list is Kano State, 202.61% in terms of the debt to revenue ratio. There are only few state governments in Nigeria that are within the 50% debt to revenue ratio, which you call something like a balanced ratio. That is, their debt does not exceed their revenue by more than 50%, so they have what they call a balanced portfolio. And you can see the name of those state governments there. Anambra State, in alphabetical order. Borno State is number 2. Jigawa State is number 3. Kebbi State is number 4. Sokoto State is number 5. Yobe State is number 6. And, of course, the federal capital, 33. So you have just about those 7 states if you consider FCT a state government. So only 7. So out of 36 states and the FCT, about 30 runs high debt level vis-a-vis their revenue. So the Fiscal Responsibility Commission in the annual report said, however, that the states with debt to revenue ratio above 50% is not necessarily an indication that those state governments have overborrowed their limits. Just let that thinking how to interpret those numbers. Let's move on. We're still talking debt anyway. This time we're taking it straight to the power sector, where we have a conundrum here and we've not been able to get a solution to it, because within that power sector, everybody's owing everybody. So we are all guilty of this offense of owing someone within the value chain. The federal government is the big brother, and government agencies are owing the power distribution companies. Customers, commercial and residential also owe the power companies. It goes down the line. The discos are also owing the Gencos. Now the Gencos says they are being owed by NBET, and it goes all the way down. So what's the latest? The Gencos says they're not trying to shut down the country, but almost 1 trillion naira debt being owed them may result in the system collapse. The Gencos restate how huge debt hurts their payments for gas, which they need as a stock to generate electricity. Remember, we have quite a number of the power generating companies, both privatized and those not yet privatized, running on gas. Then they said they're having problems with salaries and wages, and including other cost of running business. Genco specifically fingered the Nigeria bulk electricity trading company called NBET for not paying 100% as agreed for the power that NBET evacuated from the Gencos. So that's where we are as we speak. So the Genco says, look, we're not trying to shut down the country, but this 1 trillion, almost 1 trillion naira debt is a problem. If you add the discos, the debt owed to the discos, you're looking at close to 2 trillion naira debt in the power sector. Let's pay our debt, shall we? Okay, let's look at another side of debt this time. The private equity firms around the world are flying into Nigeria with deep pockets of dollars and investing in equities of listed and unlisted firms, providing financial succor to some industries in the country that needs money. So where are we at the moment? We're getting this news that some of you who are in the marketplace and on the market street are already aware of. The PE firms are buying those equities. So we're getting some news for you this morning. The latest is the private equity firm called Milost Incorporated of the United States. It's investing $250 million financing facility to Resort Savings and Loans PLC. Now, Resort Savings and Loans is listed on the